Hi guys, and welcome to this edition of Pillars of the Spirit, where we're going to be focusing on the food pillar and what sweets and what things you can do to substitute with sugar. A lot of you have been sending me messages saying, I'm ready to tackle this particular food when it comes to getting my ego under control. What are some things I can do to help that transition and to incorporate that could be healthier for me for a lifetime? The great news is I have expert advice in this field. First thing I want to cover with you guys is none of these products were given to me for free. This is not a situation where I'm promoting anyone else's products. These are simply tried and true things that I have used with my family and myself and with many in the community and had success with, not only from the standpoint of how they taste, but also what is in their products, because natural is important. So when cutting out sugar, which is really important because not only is sugar addictive, it causes inflammation, it feeds infection, it lowers your immune system, and in general, it is one of the worst ego-based, low vibration foods that you can put into your body. It's one of the reasons why so many people struggle so much, and as soon as you feel bad, you tend to go eat sugary things because that matches that vibration. So what do you do in order to keep that vibration in check during that transition? First, all of the things I use are natural products, and I'm going to give you a brief explanation on the ones that I showcase more than others in my home. One is monk fruit sweetener. I absolutely love this brand. I absolutely love Buddha fruit. You can see it available online at Amazon, and also it's at a lot of stores that are local for a lot of people, so it is very widely available. Little background on monk fruit. It has been used for eons by monks to reach enlightenment. So what would happen is they would travel up to the Himalayan mountains and they would go through periods of time where they were fasting or basically only eating off the land. What they did is they discovered a certain fruit that made them feel very open spiritually as well as very good physically, and it was the monk fruit. So they started to ingest this purely and no longer ingest anything that was sugary or anything of that nature, and they found themselves the ability to reach enlightenment faster. So I love monk fruit. Couple things about it. You've got to be careful of how it's cultivated. I really like this brand because it's 100% natural with no other ingredients. Always take a peek because a lot of times these are cut with other things that are not as natural, or they are not saying right on there, this is the only ingredient that we use. So you want to keep an eye on that to weed out anything that you might not want in your diet. Also, stevia. Now this one you want to be super careful with. A lot of stevias are also mixed with things. So this brand in particular, the Sweet Leaf Organic Stevia, is the one that I choose. This one, I also like how the powder was extracted because you have to be careful with that as well. You do not want a product where this was heated up to high degrees or anything of that nature. You want something where it's extracted very purely, and this was the purest one that I was able to find. Also, there is a wonderful product that's relatively new that kind of takes the place of some honeys and syrups, and that's Allulose. I prefer when the Allulose that I use is from jackfruit in specific because there is a lot of different fruits that this is extracted from. I really like jackfruit, as those of you who've seen some of my other videos on the food series. So I really love it, and this is a great alternative to even putting on, like, if you're gonna have something sweet from pancakes in the morning or anything that you would use for syrups, this is a great option. Also, it's a great replacement for honey. I know honey is really good and has a lot of good healing benefits, but it also has an enormous amount of sugar. So when you're trying to limit your sugars, a tiny bit really should be all you have, if any at all, when you're growing that spiritual energy, but always trust your instincts on that. So those are the three main sweeteners I use. There are other ones out there. There is, in some of these products, in this one in particular, which we'll talk about, there's erythritol. Now, erythritol is a sugar alcohol, but it does not contain alcohol. And the reason why erythritol will sometimes get a bad name is because it's derived from corn, and often that corn is GMO derived corn. You always want to be careful with that. you want to make sure that the products you're ingesting specifically state, if you choose erythritol, that it is non-GMO corn. Some people will complain of stomach discomfort. This is not the same stomach discomfort you're going to get if you use an artificial sweetener that we're used to hearing about in the past. This is a discomfort from inulin, which is actually a really good fiber, and there's a lot of prebiotic benefits in that fiber. So people sort of mistake that as being what used to be in the past when you would have too much artificial sweeteners, but it is not artificial, and it's not necessarily a bad thing, but always trust your body. Other great things about these products is stevia has been used for eons, hundreds of years in Brazil. It treats colic, it also treats some stomach discomforts, and it treats Lyme disease. So there is a ton of research out there, medical studies, about how actual stevia leaf, not necessarily the extract, however, the whole leaf, works better in the treatment of Lyme disease than actually some of the regimens they use as far as antibiotics go. So this is a really great way to not only keep your body healthy, but also keep that ego in check, and also continue to cultivate your spiritual energy instead of feeding all of the lower vibrations you're trying to work through. So let's get on to some of the products in specific. So for sweeteners in general, I love this liquid monk fruit extract. It is again by Sweet Leaf and it is organic. It is excellent to add to pretty much anything, to add to smoothies if you want that sweet flavor. This one is the French vanilla flavor, which I absolutely love. It's important to understand though, both monk fruit as well as stevia have a slight aftertaste. So if you're someone who really does not like the aftertaste, then a better option for you is actually going to be erythritol. However, I don't mind the aftertaste personally, especially because I know what they're derived from. So that makes me feel better than anything that would be related to having a high sugar product. So there's also the Sweet Leaf organic drops as well. This one is specifically stevia. This one is specifically monk fruit. I will have links to both in the description of this video for you guys to choose from. Great to sweeten anything. I actually have a soda stream where we make sparkling water and we will make cream soda based on using these. And there's so many flavor options, first of all, of these. This one here is English toffee, which is great for, if you want to have like a morning tea or something like that, or any drinks or anything you would sweeten. This one works great, but there are so many different flavors. They even have a Pepsi Cola flavor, which my husband likes, but I'm not necessarily the best fan of. But experiment, that's the key. You're going into uncharted territory, so be open and let go of some of the rules or fake rules that your mind created in the past so that you can expand further beyond what you've known. Other great products, don't even know where to start. As far as it goes, is super quick baked goods. I absolutely love pretty much anything by Lankato, and my kids do too. I toss these in, and they are chocolate chip. There's a brownie mix. There's a lemon poppy seed muffin, which you would be surprised is pretty fantastic. All of these really good ingredients. They all contain non-GMO foods and they are excellent for you. Also, their brownie mix is to die for. One thing about the brownie mix though, is a quick hint, it calls for you to do 2/3 of melted coconut oil. I do 1/3 of melted coconut oil and then 1/3 of water. It tends to be a little too heavy for my family if I do the full amount of oil, but that's just a preference on our behalf. So you can check these out. Again, they're available online and they're available in a lot of stores. These are great. They are sweetened with monk fruit. They are also sweetened with erythritol, but you're looking at non-GMO, which again, it makes all the difference when you're gonna choose a product like that. If you're looking for a quick pick-me-up snack and you're in love with granola, but you're trying to limit some of your grain options as well as your sweets, whole meat. I'm a huge fan of whole meat. There's actually 2 different types, but I didn't want to overwhelm my counter with all of them. This one is the cinnamon banana chip. It is to die for. I absolutely love it, and it's a great grab on the go snack. It also works well for children to make them feel like they're getting that really sweet feel. BarBQ sauce. You'd be surprised how much hidden sugar is in products like BarBQ sauce. So I found the Rufus Teague, which is sugar-free. Again, you're looking at some awesome options on here. This is absolutely fantastic. I use this when I discuss, I'm sorry, I'm getting super excited because I love food and I love all the experimenting and then sharing it with you guys. I feel so honored. Okay. So when I talked about the pulled pork episode where we chatted briefly about the jackfruit, this is the barbecue sauce I use. It is amazing. My kids love it. Be careful. There's 2 different brands. Summer Rufus Teak is not sugar-free. So there's 3 options so far to date as far as flavors go. And there is a chipotle one that is rather spicy. So if you're making this for children, the slim and sweet one is the one I would say would work the best for their palate, so you don't get any complaints about burning tongues. If you thought you were gonna miss Hershey's chocolate sauce, think again, because I have the most incredible chocolate sauce that I have ever had. With only 3 ingredients, this is amazing. It is sweetened, again, with stevia, but on top of the stevia, there's only glycerin and water and cocoa. So it's absolutely amazing for you. Limited products in it, non-GMO, and it's fantastic. This is available online on Amazon. They also have chocolate mint. They've got a few different flavors. I was not a huge fan of the vanilla one. Maybe it's because I had the chocolate and the chocolate mint first, so it was like all open there. I couldn't take it anymore. I use this to put on top of our ice cream when we make ice cream. And I also will flavor, if we're gonna make a smoothie chocolate, I'll do that as well. And when I make my gluten-free pancakes, I will put this on top as a syrup. And my children feel like they're literally eating dessert sometimes 24 hours a day, but with no sugar and amazing ingredients in it. So it's an awesome thumbs up for any parent out there. Okay, and last but not least, who could miss the chocolate options? So this one is really incredible, and it's the Choco XO. It's amazing. This one does not use any of the sweeteners I talked about. It's just a really strong dark chocolate. So if you're totally against using any alternate sweeteners, this one would be the way to go, and you still get that really good taste and still feel like you've had a definite chocolate fix. So these are fantastic. When in doubt, the Lily's baking chips. I absolutely adore these, and I can barely keep them in the jar when I put them out in my home because the kids walk by all day and grab some, and I'm sort of guilty of that too. So Lily's baking chips are incredible for any of your baking needs. They melt fantastic, they taste wonderful, and they are so much better than any of the items you're going to find at the stores, made from those major brands like Hershey and Godiva and all those companies that lean towards GMO products in order to keep their company at a certain base level financially and a certain price, and they sort of skimmed on the quality you were getting. So another great quality, Lily's chocolate. So that is going to cap up the edition of what sugar should I eat. Oh my goodness, I'm cutting sugar out. I'm going to panic. Trust me, try some of these products. You're not gonna panic anymore. You're gonna realize how easy it's been all along and how other people in the world that don't live in such commercialized societies have been doing this and feel much better, are living longer, and are far more spiritually connected than those that we are experiencing in our country. But we're waking up, which is great. Thank you guys so much for watching this edition of Pillars of the Spirit, specifically premium material for just you guys only. I am so grateful for everything that you guys do and all your support. Thank you for watching. If you need anything, please comment in the notes and I'll make sure I get back to you right away.